God story. So I told you about how I knew God was alive, how Jesus was alive, how I was filled with the Holy Spirit. And so now I wanted to know him because I realized back when I was in college, so I was 33 when I found out that he was alive. And back in college, I remember I was an art major, and I remember having a vision. I was absolutely not religious, totally living in sin. But I had a vision of this painting that I just knew I had to do. It was a 2-part painting. It had Jesus' left arm. I have no idea why, and I had to paint part of the hand on the top canvas and the other part of the arm on the bottom canvas. And it was titled Hope. I had to paint it. I could not get it out of my head. Until I painted it and I titled it Jesus, it wouldn't come out of my head. Had no idea why. So I did it. It was done. We went through a critique with the rest of the kids because we had to do that for part of the class. And then, nothing until I was 33, and then I started to figure out what was going on. Okay, so after this had happened, I found I was really alive. I started getting visions. So now, as an artist, I'm seeing things, and I'm seeing good things. He would show me visions in parables, sometimes like little movies. Like he showed me drawing with chalk in circles around him. And then I knew, after he helps you understand these things. And that one was draw closer to God or draw closer to Jesus. Because I could see him. It was Jesus. So then I'm like, okay, so draw closer means, I'm trying to discover this all myself. There's nobody to talk to about this. And I sounded crazy. And, who's I going to tell? I was dating at the time, and I was telling him. And, he'd had a God moment when he was younger where he knew he was saved because he actually was falling off a cliff and he asked the Lord to help him. But he didn't know the Lord that much either. So draw closer to him. So I started to spend time, quiet time. I don't even think it was prayer. I was just trying to quiet myself so I could hear him. I'd heard him once out loud. I wanted to hear him again. The Lord of the universe really is there. There's a zillion people, and he really just talked. If he's talking to me, he can talk to anybody. So as I quieted myself, again, I'd see I'm calling them visions, but, kind of like he's talking to me through visual things. I'm a visual person. And I come to realize he talks through us through so many he's an endlessly creative God. So it can be anything, whatever it is that he made you. So he knows how to best communicate with you. So, I started to see these things. I got really interested in that. Started to draw them and paint them. I learned to quiet myself, and it took a while. I could hear other things that weren't God. I didn't understand it. There were lots of things getting in the way. There were things that were scary. I come to realize the devil doesn't want you to hear Jesus. He doesn't want you to be happy. He wants to keep you in turmoil, and he doesn't want you to know you're really saved. He wants you to doubt the whole thing and try and keep you away from the Lord. But it's not true, so don't take any of that. So, like I said, there were different times where I would hear him, and here's just a couple of instances. So, I was in my classroom, again on a prep, and all of a sudden I just heard him. Clear as day, but in my head. And I'm just going to tell you, to me I hear him in my thoughts. And I know it's not me because he talks different than me. So I started hearing him. And I thought, oh my gosh, if I could talk to God, I could ask him anything. He knows the answers to everything. He created us. He created the world. And so I asked him, and I'm thinking of all the like earthly amazing things, and I said, what is the coolest thing you ever created? And I'm thinking he's going to say some, cool land feature on Earth or something. And he says, man. And then I was like, oh yeah, duh. He loved us that much that he died for us. And he, even in all of our sin, he absolutely loves us. And as I came to know him more, even like, anybody, it doesn't matter who you are, what you've done. Any moment you would give to just listen to him and hear him, he says he'll take it. Any shred of a moment, which is amazing because how much have we discarded him, been rude to him? I can think of lots of things I've done that absolutely don't honor him throughout my life. Okay, so that was one instance, and then I spent as much time as I could hear him there while I was on my prep. And then I remember another instance in my kitchen. I was cooking supper, and all of a sudden I hear him go, why did you have children? And I said, so they could love me back. And he said, me too. And I choked up because think of how many people, when I started to hear him, didn't know anybody else that was hearing him. How many people don't know him? It's hard to fathom. And how many people wouldn't be saved, So then here's another time. So I was having all these amazing things happen to me. I was honestly just falling in love with him for all the things he was showing me and exposing me to and how nice he was to me. He was blessing me, and I was trying to figure out what I was in this whole grand world. Why did he create me? And what could I get back? So I remember another time I was driving, and I just wanted to be able to talk to other people that were having experiences like me, kind of to not know I was crazy, And I said to him while driving, God, could I just meet some other people that this kind of stuff is happening to? Please, could I know? How did I say it? It was something like, could I meet other people that know you? And I think he knew that I'd get wrapped up in talking to people about him and using a lot of energy to do so, just to find out more about him. I was like a sponge at the time. And so after I said that, I said, God, please could I, meet people that know you? And then he said, but there are millions that don't. Probably more than that. And that made me realize that he wants even the little bit that I know of him to be shared with people that don't know him. So that was interesting. And he did eventually bring some people. So I realized, okay, I'm not crazy. This stuff really does happen to other people. And he helps us along the way, to feel comfortable. Okay, I'm going to stop there. Thank you.